Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I hope you're all well and having a really good day so far. Since I last uploaded, something really exciting happened. I actually hit 400 subscribers. I think it might be a little bit more than that now, but before we get into the video, I just wanted to say a massive thank you. It means so much to me that you guys subscribe, watch my videos, and just support my channel in general. I just can't tell you how much it means to me. It really does mean the absolute world, so thank you so much for your support. Today's video is a full face of Charlotte Tilbury products, and one product that I've been absolutely dying to try is the Stoned Rose Instant Look in a palette. This retails for £49 and it's available on the Charlotte Tilbury website. Inside you're getting all of the powder products you would need to do a complete look. So you have 3 eyeshadows, 2 blush shades, a bronzer and a highlighter. This is the look that I created today, so if you would like to see how I achieve this look, then keep on watching. I'm going to start by applying the Magic Cream Light just to hydrate my skin and give a really nice base for the foundation. And this moisturiser is really lovely. If you like the original Magic Cream, this is exactly the same, it's just a much lighter consistency, so it's easier to soak into the skin. Please don't mind that my face has gone quite red after applying that. It's not a reaction to the product, it's just that my skin is quite sensitive. So when I do apply product, it does go quite red quickly, but then it does settle just as quickly afterwards. Next I'm going to apply the Hollywood Flawless filter, and this is a really beautiful illuminator, but it also has a little bit of coverage which I think is going to work really well underneath the Light Wonder foundation. I've not tried this foundation before, but it is lighter coverage than Charlotte's other 2 foundations, so I think between the 2 products this could work really well. So the shade that I'm using in the Hollywood Flawless filter is shade 2, and I think this works really well with my skin tone, but you can see that this is giving me a little bit of coverage as well as the luminosity, and I'm just applying that all over my face using this Real Techniques foundation brush. So you can see straight away just how glowy this product is. You could absolutely wear this on its own and just spot conceal in the areas that you need a little bit more coverage. I personally prefer to wear this product underneath foundation, so you just get more of a natural glow peeking through from underneath the foundation that you're using. So as I said, I'm going to be using the Light Wonder foundation today, and I have this in the shade 3 Fair. I've not used this before, so this is going to be a first impressions for me, and hopefully this will be a good shade match. So just applying the foundation with the same brush, and I'm starting in the centre of my face and then blending the foundation outwards. This foundation's got a nice consistency, it's blending out really easily on the skin and giving a nice natural finish. I do think if you prefer a more full coverage foundation that this may not be the one for you, but if you prefer a more natural skin light look, then I would absolutely give this one a try. And this does seem to be quite a good colour match, so I'm really pleased with that. That's the foundation now applied, and I did go in and add another layer just to build it up to a more medium coverage. I'm now going to go in with some concealer, and I'm using the Magic Away concealer in shade 3, just because I feel I need a bit more coverage under the eyes and maybe a little bit in these areas here to hide some of the redness. So I'm just tapping that lightly under the eye, and I'm just blending that out with my finger. Sometimes I do prefer to use my finger to blend out product because I just think the heat from my skin allows the product to melt into the skin a little bit more easily. And I'm just working through applying that to the areas that I think just need a little bit more coverage. And you can see the difference straight away that that concealer's made between this side of my face and the side without. I am also going to apply a little bit of concealer to my eyelids, and I'm going to set that with some powder to use as an eye base for the eyeshadows. And to set that, I'm using the Airbrush Flawless Finish Powder in the shade 1 Fair. And this is one of the products that I think Charlotte Tilbury is perhaps most famous for. I would say this powder and also her Pillow Talk range. and I'm just pressing that into the skin. And I'm also going to set the concealer that I put on my eyelids with that powder as well, but I'm just using a smaller brush to do that. So that's the base down, and I'm just going to jump off camera, do my brows, and I'll be right back. That's brows now done, and for today's look I'm using the Stoned Rose Instant Look in a palette. This is part of Charlotte's 2020 Christmas collection, but I do believe it was available before. Packaging is beautiful, just look at that rose detail, and I'll show you what the palette looks like inside. Inside here you have everything that you would need to create a full look. So there are 3 eyeshadows across the top to brighten, enhance and smoke. There is a bronzer here, a highlighter, and you also get 2 blush shades in the middle. I would say that this bronzer does look quite light. I think that it will work fine for me, but if your skin tone is a bit darker, well, medium to dark, this may be a little bit too light for you. So to start with, I'm just applying the bronzer. I just think this adds a little bit more warmth to my skin. I like to do this before I do my eyeshadow, and then I go back in later to finish off my cheeks and highlight. So this is a lovely shade. I think that it's working really well with my skin tone, and it also looks flawless with the base makeup that we'd already done. And I also like to bring that up into my temples and across the top of my forehead into the hairline. And that just brings a little bit of warmth back into my complexion. And a little bit on the nose and the chin. I'm just applying it to the high points of my face where my skin would naturally catch the sun. Moving on to eyes, I'm going to start with the Brighten shade, and I'm just going to apply that across the lid using this fluffy brush. So this is a really lovely, I would say, champagne-y shimmer colour. It's applying really nicely, just a really nice soft shade, very wearable every day. I'm then going to define the eye a little bit more by putting the enhanced shade into the crease. I'm just nestling the brush into the socket of my eye, and I'm doing back and forth motions and also small circular motions just to diffuse that colour out. I don't want any harsh lines in this look. I want to keep the eye and also the overall look quite soft. And I'm also going to take that colour under the eye into the lower lash line, and I'm using the Charlotte Tilbury smudge brush to do this. And taking the smoke shade, I'm just going to deepen up that outer corner and smoke out the outer part of the lower lash line. And this is a really nice warm matte brown. I'm just going to take that into the lower lash line. I'm just going to go back in with my Airbrush Flawless Finish powder just to soften these edges and really blend out the shadow. And this is a really nice trick if you feel that you've gone a little bit too high with the darker colours. And I'm also taking a little bit of that matte shade onto the smudger brush and smudging out the lower lash line. For eyeliner, I'm using the Rock and Coal in the shade Barbarella Brown. I do think that this is a really nice alternative to black eyeliner. It still has that depth, but it is a little bit warmer on the eye and not quite as harsh as a black. And I'm just using the pencil just to define the lash line. And this just helps the lashes look fuller at the root. And I'm just going to use a smudger brush just to run that along the eyeliner and smudge that line out a little bit, just so it's not quite so harsh. And these are lovely pencils because they are creamy enough to smudge out. For mascara, I'm using the Pillow Talk Push-Up Lashes, and since this launch, this has fastly become one of my very favourite mascaras. I love how versatile it is. If you just want light fluttery lashes, you can do that with maybe one coat, or if you want to build up for a more dramatic look, you can also achieve that by applying 2 or 3 coats. So I think today, because we're keeping the makeup quite soft, I'm just going to apply one layer of mascara, but I'm just going to make sure that I've given the lashes a really good coat, and then just onto the bottom lashes as well. To finish off the eyes, I'm just going to take this highlight shade and I'm going to apply a very small amount just to brighten up the inner corners. For blush, I think that I'm going to use both shades. I'm going to use the lighter shade first and then apply a small amount of the darker shade just to the apples of the cheeks. I'm just using circular motions to diffuse the blush. I want it to blend into the base makeup and also the bronzer seamlessly. And actually that's a really beautiful shade. I don't think that I am going to apply the second shade. I think that is doing exactly what I want it to do. And then just to finish off the face, I'm going into the highlight shade here. And I'm just applying that to my cheekbones, and that is a really beautiful highlight, very glowy. And I'm also going to bring that up into the temple. And a little bit on my nose, and also the Cupid's bow. For lips today, I'm using the Lip Cheat in the shade Iconic Nude, and I'm also using the Stone Rose lipstick, which is in the Kissing formula. And this is a really nice lip liner formula. It's quite creamy, and you can easily blend it onto the rest of the lip. And this is quite a unique colour. I don't think that I own another colour like this in my collection. And lastly, to finish the look, I'm just going to set the face with the Airbrush Flawless Setting Spray. If you don't already have this, I would highly recommend. It's such a good setting spray. This is the finished makeup look, and I'm really pleased with how it turned out. The lipstick is probably a little bit darker to what I would normally wear on a day-to-day basis, but as I mentioned, I don't currently have a shade like this in my collection, so it's nice for me to try something different. The Stone Rose palette I really love, and I like it so much more than I was expecting to. The eyeshadows especially are beautiful. They blend so easily, and I think they actually pull a lot more warm toned on the eye than they appear to be in the pan. But you've got everything you would need in here to create a full look, to take from daytime to evening, and I just think it's such an easy palette to use. I'm really glad that I've added this into my collection. I do really like how my complexion is looking, and I think the combination of using the Hollywood Flawless filter with the Light Wonder foundation has worked really well. I would definitely feel confident to go out wearing this makeup look, and I think that I'll be using this combination in the future for sure. That's everything for today's video. I really hope that you enjoyed it. If you did, please give it a thumbs up, and if you are thinking about picking up the Stone Rose palette, or maybe you already own it, let me know your thoughts in the comments below, because it's always so nice to hear from you guys. If you'd like to see more videos from me, hit the subscribe button, because I would love to have you back and have you join our YouTube family. Enjoy the rest of your day, guys, and I will see you on my next one.